The Buckeye State, Northwest Ohio's quarter mile of thunder. This racetrack, originally opened in 1935, is rich in its auto racing history. The Limaland Motorsports Park, owned and operated by University of Northwestern Ohio, hosts Friday night racing every week. Tonight, this virtual racetrack holds home to the United States Modified Touring Series. Hello and welcome, race fans, to LSRTV Live on Racing Dirt. Charles Wooten behind the cameras is executive producer here tonight. In the booth here, my announcing partner Nolan Rempel and myself, Brandon Kreutz, and happy to be here as always. And Nolan, the tight quarter mile racetrack, going to provide for some really cool and awesome racing action here tonight.
It's the bull ring of dirt racing, so to speak, and might I add, Brandon, this is one of my favorite dirt tracks to observe a race at, and I am definitely thrilled to finally be able to cover a race here. This is going to be one heck of a show tonight. This is one of the shortest dirt tracks you will find on the service. No doubt, we're in for one heck of a race.
Absolutely, we are. In just about 4 minutes or so, these guys will be rolling over to heat race number one. If you don't know what the USMTS is, the United States Modified Touring Series, the fastest growing and most popular open wheel modified touring series in the world, attracting some of the most talented and professional drivers in North America. The fan-friendly format and exciting show creates for an enthusiastic and loyal fan base, and USMTS routinely competes in front of capacity crowds. For more information, visit USMTS.com. Of course, all the racing action that you see here for the virtual side of USMTS is brought to you by Mel Hambleton Ford Inc., known as one of the best Ford car dealers in the Wichita, Kansas area. They have a great selection of new and used vehicles, exceptional car care, and customer service with a smile. For more information, visit mhford.com. As well as Kaiser Manufacturing. Their commitment to engineering and developing new products is reflected in a wide range of fabricated items. They produce manufacturing and retail industries, from simple to complex fabrication. For more information, visit KaiserManufacturing.com. And of course, FK Bearings Incorporated, a world-class leading manufacturer in rod ends, spherical bearings, custom engineered bearings, and related products. Established in 1983, FK Bearings brings over 35 years of experience to the industrial and performance and off-road markets. For more information, visit fkrodends.com. And of course, all the presenting race sponsors, Mel Hambleton Ford, BCC Signs and Graphics, Mel Hambleton Ford Racing, Kaiser Manufacturing, and Tiger Racing Shocks, and FK Rodends, all play a huge part in the racing action here for USMTS, as well as our channel partners, Sawblade.com, Clan War Servers, Fame Design and Media, and East Coast Motorsports Media. And all of our partners are happy to be on board, and we're happy to be here bringing you all the close racing action. So just about 2 more minutes before these guys roll over into qualifying, and seeing some pretty good times right now. They are going to be reworking the racetrack before they go into the first heat race here. So right now, Nate Choder up at the top of the board, 12.841 at the top of the board for practice, and those are the lap times I do expect once they rework this racetrack. But of course, under green flag racing conditions, these guys are going to be battling their own battle as far as the racing side of things go, and it's going to be wheel-to-wheel racing, and it's going to be some really good action tonight, Nolan.
Oh, absolutely. Going to be thrilling action from start to finish, just like it has been week after week after week. And, well, like I said before, I would expect no different here tonight, especially at this little speedway. Definitely going to be one of the shortest ones we'll find on the schedule. And I'm expecting a lot of contact, a lot of hard-fought racing. I'm pretty sure that we are in for something special tonight.
Absolutely, and this is considered one of Ohio's most favorite racetracks, and for good reason, as they produce some awesome racing action on a weekly basis. And USMTS here to kind of storm in and take over things for the night at the virtual racetrack at Limaland Motorsports Park. And you know, these guys have put on such great racing week after week, and I am so excited to see what they're going to be able to do here tonight on the quarter mile. We've been to all the bigger tracks so far, And now it's time to put these guys the test here on the tight bull ring of Limaland as we get set to go into heat race number 1.
Heat race number 1 coming up as the pill draw is being conducted, and in just a second's time, there it is, pill draw complete. We are ready to go racing tonight, and for the first heat of the night, it's going to be Jason Webb kicking things off on pole position, Jet Sorensen down in second place, Brady Bell and Kyle Harrison third and fourth, Cody Gagliano and Sam Fankhauser in fifth and sixth, Laurel Haven seventh, Colby Mewborn eighth, James Mewborn in ninth with Clyde Dunn rounding out the top 10. 8 laps for the heat races, top 3 going through to the feature.
It's going to be 10-car heat races here, a total of 5 heats being run. These guys go all the way. Stacked consolation races here, 3 if necessary. We'll find out if they need all 3 right after heat races are commenced, and I will give everybody a heads up on what's going on with that format. 8 lap heats here. 3 will advance over to the feature events from heat races. So 3 cars will get themselves locked into the A main event as the pace truck rolls off, and these guys will get stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go green flag racing in just 2 laps time for the first time of the night.
5 heat races coming up for you, so it's going to be a total of 40 laps before we'll be getting things rolling for the main event tonight. Well, at least the first of our many consolation races. Again, top 3 advancing through to the feature, so keep an eye on, of course, Harrison starting 4th place. He's going to be the one looking to work his way up to the front of the order, and don't forget as well, Cody Gagliano down at 5th place. He's also going to be looking aggressive, trying to fight his way up to the field. Good news is Jason Webb, a series winner in the USMTS on iRacing. He is starting on pole position, so luck of the draw here seems to be in Webb's favor.
And for the first time of the night, the field is on the throttle. Green flag is in the air. Jason Webb gets the whole shot down into corner number 1 this time around. It's going to be a battle for second place back behind him, and a gaggle of race cars is going to be 3 wide for that second spot.
3 wide already for second place. Now down for the transfer spot as, my goodness me, it's a Hornets test. The cars out on the racetrack. Brady Bell trying to throw his way underneath Gagliano, trying to find his way up to the front of the order as Jenny pushed out of the way, though, in favor of James Mewborn, is trying to find his way up to the order as well. Now, though, Gagliano side by side with Sorensen for the transfer spot.
Jet Sorensen got the transfer position that last time across the line in the 54 machine, and he's got his work cut out for him as here comes that 36 machine down at the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to be James Mewborn all the way down to the low side of the speedway, and didn't quite have the momentum that time around, but he's got a head of steam this time as they head down the back straightaway.
Mewborn still fighting hard, so trying to push it in there, bounce it over the tractor tires, and now up in front of Sorensen. Sorensen gets put into the wall, and he's going to get spun around here, actually. As a matter of fact,
what a save
to it. Beautiful save is now 3-4 wide, down to the turn 3 again.
What a save, 54 machine. Jet Sorensen, he went around, but he did an incredible save there as these guys are already about to take the white flag one more time around for Jason Webb.
Sprint style racing format here at Limaland Motorsports Park. Jason Webb through turn 2, now through 3 and 4. Webb clean and green for the heat race win of the night. Is going to be Kyle Harrison to round out second place, with James Mewborn having to settle for third place, and Clyde Dunn going to have to wait a bit longer and settle things in one of our consolation races tonight.
So already an action-packed heat race number 1, especially for that transfer position. 3 cars advancing to the A main as we get ready for heat race number 2. It's going to be Chris Kratzer going to be starting front row inside that pole position for heat race number 2. Brendan Lacey going to be to his outside. Jeffrey Wood starting that 3rd position, 2nd row inside. 2nd row outside, starting in 4th, is going to be Todd Stanley. Austin Howe starting 5th. 6th is going to be Dalton McKinney. Anthony Vasquez is going to be in that 7th position. 8th is going to be Kenton Allen. Kobe Smith starting in 7th. Rounding out the field in 10th is going to be Chris West.
Well, a thriller first heat, and as to be expected, lots of contact being made at that one as well. That's the nature of Limaland. It does look very, very wide, but when you put yourself with 4 cars abreast, let me tell you, this track can narrow up in a real hurry. So it's good to see, though, that a lot of these drivers, they're already going elbows up and looking to really put on a good show for us tonight as we enter heat race number 2.
Chris Kratzer and Brennan Lacey going to be ready to lead these guys to the green flag. They're going to make up your front row. And, of course, Kratzer, and that's he's scored as the 48, but I see a 55 on the side of his door. He's going to be your control car here for this initial start. And it's going to be one more time around that these guys go green, or about a half a lap now as they slow roll down the back straightaway. The pace truck now makes its way into the safety of the infield, and these guys are going to fire down off of turn 4. Kratzer's on the throttle. Green flag is in the air once again.
Great jump for the top 2. Brennan Lacey already off to a great start. 1 car into the wall. That's Todd Staley from 4th place, who's just lost every spot that he had at the start of this heat race. Meanwhile, though, battle off of the transfer spot. 1 more car sideways, and that's Chris West this time, has been spun around. But once again, 3 UI this time for the transfer spot. Austin Howes trying to find something around Jeffrey Wood down to the turn number 3 down the backstretch.
Jeffrey Wood trying to get that one more insurance position down there at the bottom of the speedway. That 55 machine trying to slow roll it all the way around this track. Still got a lot of grip, and just about every line you could run. The bottom line seems to be the preferred groove at this very moment. Jeffrey Wood can't find a way around Austin Howes, trying to find a way around for that transfer position right behind him now in the 12 machine.
Howes is really struggling here, trying to find some way around Jeffrey Wood, but Wood at the same time is trying to find his way around Chris Kratzer to go for that insurance spot, and he's got his nose in there. The question is, can he actually complete the pass? Bit of contact there down the back straightaway, and already actually the caution is going to come out. Colby Smith has been turned around to the front straightaway, and this actually started back in turn number 3. Kenton Allen made contact with the number 10 machine a little bit, and well, got cleaned out by Colby Smith.
Yeah, we go back on LSRTV replay, and those guys kind of stacked up in front of him. The 6 machine started to go around, and the one, Colby Smith, just had nowhere to go in that instance, and he gets hit one more time. It'll send him around, and he comes to a stop there on the front straightaway. It'll bring out the first caution flag for the night.
Well, not only that, but it's going to bring out our first green-white checkered of the night. Of course, 2 green-white checkered attempts here in these heat races, and it's not often we see these yellow flags in heat racing, but the administrators realized that Smith was stopped right when the leaders were coming around and how much of a problem this would be when they're running 2-3 wide behind them, so they did decide to throw the yellow. So good job on the controllers there to put out that yellow flag. Already, the lights are on in the pace truck. Just 2 laps left to go in heat race number 2. Keep an eye for Austin Howes. He was very aggressive. Let's see what he can make here on the restart. Green flag is back in the air. We're racing once again.
That 14 machine got the whole shot down at quarter number 1 that last time around. It's going to be a battle for 2nd and 3rd back behind him. A little bit of contact. The 46 machine almost going around back there, and McKinney manages to gather it back up, and he loses a couple of spots, and these guys are still going to be battling it out. It's going to be a drag race. 3 cars under a blanket, and they storm out at turn number 4 this time, and the 55 gets turned. And he's going to lose out on that transfer position. I'm sure not happy. Chris Kratzer, unbelievable out of turn 4.
And Karma nearly bit Austin Howes there. Howes was the driver that ended up turning the 55 machine around. And actually, Anthony Vasquez almost paid the favor back to him on the front straightaway when he also got turned around off the door this time. So Howes going to take his, he's going to take his transfer spot, no doubt. But my goodness, that's, I guess, one way to get a transfer spot for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely it is. But, we move on to heat race number 3. The program quickly timing away here. Starting on pole inside front row is going to be the 33 machine, Cale Westover. Clint McFadden starting in his outside of the 2nd position. Ben Lewis starting in that 3rd position. Ryder Cantillo starting 4th. Richie Gustin going to be starting in that 5th position. Kevin Rutherford going to be in 6th. 7th is going to be Tyler McGoldrick. Kelby Taylor starting in that 8th position. Adam Hummerdang in 9th. And Dylan Taylor going to be rounding out the top 10, rounding out your heat race starting lineup.
Another 10 cars getting set to rumble for heat race number 3 out of 5 already. We are halfway through our heat racing program of the night, but we are still set to have as many as 3 consolation races before advancing through to the feature for tonight. So, despite being halfway through our heat races, still lots of racing left to go in our program.
Absolutely, there is. We'd like to thank all of the fans for tuning in tonight. Again, live at LSRTV, Hands Race and Dirt Facebook page. Pace truck makes its way into the infield. The field's on the throttle. Cale Westover leads these guys to the green flag for heat race number 3, and an excellent start down into turn 1.
Great start down in the turn number 1 for your leader, Cale Westover. Out on the outside, though, Ryder Cantillo trying to fight for the transfer spot. He's been side by side with Ben Lewis since the drop of the green flag, and they're making contact now. That's going to put both on the outside wall. That hands it to Richie Gustin, who's going to say thank you very much and pick up that transfer from both of them. All that fighting, it ended in tears for both of them. Now it's Adam Humberding that they're going to have to look out for. More contact still going on behind them.
Cantillo falls all the way back to that 7th position there, and now fighting for that 6th spot is more contact up there, and it looks like we could have a battle for the race lead, and we do. Clinton McFadden trying to make something happen over there against Cale Westover. Is McFadden riding the bottom of the speedway right now. He's going to clear for the heat race lead. Big contact
from Richie Gustin. That's going to actually put Cale Westover out of the transfer spot. That's allowed Adam Humberding to come through 3 wide for second for a brief moment, and now Humberding has found himself in a great transfer spot. Now it's going to be Westover who's have to go on the offensive, trying to get around and pay back the favor to that number 196, as Gustin still trying to pull away to get that insurance spot, as already we're with less than 2 laps to go.
Now we are Richie Gustin trying to make something work at the bottom of the speedway right now. Just can't quite get it done. He's trying to go for that insurance spot. He's already got the 3rd spot locked in. Cale Westover right to his rear. Nerf bar now gets a little bit squirrely that last time. And out of turn 4, it's going to be Clinton McFadden with a heat race win. Adam Humberding coming home in 2nd. And rounding out the top 3 is going to be Richie Gustin.
What a thrilling heat race number 3. This one, I think, arguably one of the cleaner heat races we've had all night thus far. Well, going right into heat race number 4, like you said, the program keeps ticking away. It's Jimmy Mars on pole position, Jake Nightingale down in 2nd, Johnny Broking in 3rd, Kevin McNabb 4th, Chad Wheeler 5th, Lucas Schott rounding out row number 3, Tanner Branch and Brandon Givens in row number 4, and Davis Givens with Sean Powers rounding out yet another 10-car field.
You know, Nolan, I'm already sensing some temper starting to flare after what I've seen post-race in both of these, or I should say all 3 of these heat races that we've seen so far, as some not-so-happy drivers after the checkers fly in every single one of these heat races so far. Some hurt feelings, but that's what it's like racing on the bull rings here, race fans, is tempers are going to flare, sparks are going to fly, and you're seeing it all live right here with us.
Rubbin's racing, especially in the dirt business, and well, there's a very, very old adage: if you can't take the heat, literally in this case, you better get out of the kitchen. So a lot of these drivers, though, let's just say it, put it this way, they have come to cook up a win for themselves, and absolutely none of them are looking to back down just yet. No driver currently out of the fight. We still have all those consolation races that people will be able to compete in to get themselves into the A-main. I have a feeling, though, that in those consolation races, that's where we're going to see a lot of these tempers really starting to boil over.
I absolutely agree 100%, Nolan. The pace truck is in. Mars is on the throttle. Green flag is in the air for heat race number 4 already. The field starting to stack up. Everybody keeps it straight. We're clean and green. It's going to be a 3-wide battle for the transfer spot.
Gibbons spinning around before he even start finish line, and Lucas Schott, he dropped back way down the order, so he's had a terrible start as well. Chad Wheeler, though, up in the 4th place and side by side with Kevin McNabb for the final transfer spot here in heat race number 4. Still up the inside, big contact behind, sends Jake Nightingale up the track in the number 3, and he's going to come right across Davis Gibbons' nose, send him around 2 cars sideways, and heads up, caution flag is out, and good call there. That was getting way way too heated. I think Kevin McNatt was just barely ahead of Chad Wheeler, though, at the line.
Man, oh man, as that happened all the way out of turn 4 is where that started. The 3 machine making contact with another car, and he'll go straight up the racetrack, going down into turn number 1 with the 25 machine there, and that'll send almost both those cars around. As kind of stacks everybody up. Everybody managed to straighten it back out fairly quickly, but good job by USMTS officials and race director Brett Laidhoff for throwing the caution there in that incident, as it could have gotten very ugly.
Well, absolutely, and it just goes to show you how good the race controllers here in this series are to recognize when a situation is getting too heated and put an immediate stop to it in such quick fashion. Already lights are out on the base truck. It's going to be a 2-lap sprint to decide heat race number 4. Kevin McNatt still holding that final transfer spot, but just barely. Jimmy Mars looking very secure out in front with Broking still down there in second place as well. Chad Wheeler no doubt going to be looking to be on the move here as we go back green flag racing for heat race number 4, and this time not nearly a good start there for Mars. 3 wide, almost 3 wide, yes indeed, for the heat race lead. Here comes McNatt charging up the bottom.
McNatt trying to make something happen. Mars all the way up against the outside line, and Johnny Broken coming home with the heat race lead so far. They come out of turn 4 this time by, and yes sir, heat race wins. Gonna be Johnny Broking, Kevin McNatt in second, and who got the transfer position? It's gonna be Jimmy Mars.
Jimmy Mars just barely out-dragging that 25 machine at the line to end off heat race number 4. Unfortunately, Tanner Branch wasn't able to get as good of a run as he needed. Only 9 cars going to be lining up for the final heat race of the night. Dustin Hall in first position with Alex Williamson in second, Blake Brown third, Kyle Thompson fourth, Nate Choder in fifth, Trent Beaver sixth, Jason Murray seventh, Tate Butler eighth, with Ryan Gaunt down in ninth place.
And correction in the last heat, it is Sam Mars behind the wheel of the Jimmy Mars at number 27. So it is Sam Mars behind that 27 machine, as we just got word on that. And I wasn't sure. I was looking at the name provided, but we did get confirmation. It is Sam Mars behind the wheel of that machine. So field stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go racing next time around for the final heat race of the night.
Final heat race getting ready to rumble. Dustin Hall going to be leading them off to the green, and well, that number 574 no doubt going to be looking very strong out in front. Alex Williamson going to be looking to secure things for second place. No doubt Blake Brown looking to lock stuff into the feature as well. The green flag flies for the final heat race of the night.
It's going to be Dustin Hall leading the field down at a quarter number 1, and he gets the whole shot as the car behind him gets the outside wall. That's going to be the 15 machine as he's trying to power all the way back up to the third position. The outside line, Nolan, looks like it could come into play here sooner than later.
Yes, indeed. Outside line looking to come into play. Contact behind. Almost sends Kyle Thompson around. But that 43 car is hang on to it 4 wide for last place in the heat race, believe it or not. As I'll tell you what, side by side once again for second place. The battles just pick on up no matter where on the track you are as drivers try to lock themselves into these various positions to at least give themselves a better shot in the consolation races. Thompson trying to look underneath Tate Butler, who already had the inside line covered.
That he does. The 88 machine trying to fight down low. Nate Choder down on that low side right now. It's going to be Blake Brown up on the high side. Almost a little bit of contact down the back straightaway that time around. And these guys are slowly starting to inch themselves closer to Dustin Hall. Hall riding that low line all the way around, trying to slow roll. He catches a tire again that time around. The top 3 under a blanket now here at Limaland. Dustin Hall still rolling with the heat race lead so far. They're going to come around at a turn 4. The white flag flies this time around. One more lap to go here, and the heat race victory could be compromised for Dustin Hall. He's got a heated Blake Brown 99 machine. Not going to be able to make it work this time at a turn 4. Dustin Hall with a heat race win. Blake Brown in second. Nate Choder getting that final transfer position.
And with this, we move on to consolation races. The first one going to be an 11-car race. Clyde Dunn going to be kicking things off on pole position. Tanner Branch going to be in second. Anthony Vasquez in third. Alex Williams in fourth. Tyler McGoldrick fifth. Colby Newborn sixth. Lucas Schott seventh. Chris Kratzer eighth. Kyle Thompson ninth. Dylan Allen 10th. Jet Sorensen rounds out the 11-car field.
11 cars going to be looking to take the green flag for consolation race number 1 of 3. Again, watching USMTS Modifieds here live at LSRTV and the RaceandDirt.com Facebook page. We'd like to thank all of our fans for tuning in week after week here live on both feeds. Awesome job to everybody here in the production side of things, and big shout out to RaceandDirt.com for allowing us to run this feed off of their Facebook page, as they've been excellent partners here the last few weeks. And of course, USMTS, the United States Modified Touring Series, for doing this and putting these shows on week after week, and it's been a real pleasure to cover.
It has indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to cover this series. And, well, I tell you what, it's definitely not going to be over yet. I am noticing something, though. Looks like Alex Williamson not able to make the call today. So that is very unfortunate for the number 15 machine, as he is going to be starting from the pit lane for this first consolation race of 12 laps. Again, top 3 advancing to the feature. This is, well, most unfortunate for that number 15 machine. He might have just ended his night right there.
Yeah, I'd say that's a bit of a tough break. So definitely a tough break for the 15, and I see Jet Sorensen not making the call as well. It's going to be Clyde Dunn leading these guys to the drop of the green. Pace truck is in, the field's on the throttle. We're underway consolation style. Clyde Dunn gets the whole shot down into quarter number 1.
What a great launch from the top 3 off of the line, as we have one car sideways with Lucas Schott off of turn number 1. That went around, but everybody else still running clean and green. Out in front, battle on for second place, Tanner Branch. Throwing it up the inside of Colby Newborn, who's riding that outside wall, trying to find whatever speed he can get by running just along that wall to come get the speed going. 3 wide, up 4 behind them, as Anthony Vasquez getting pitched out. He's going to lose out a few spots as well.
That he will. It was a little bit of contact back there further in the field. The battle for second is on now, as Tanner Branch trying to ride the low side of the speedway now and just can't quite hold it. It's really starting to slick off down there at the bottom side of the speedway and just can't quite get the traction, as Colby Newborn is able to hold it up on the high side now, and now a little bit of a wiggle, as this may put the second position under compromise, as it looks like Branch down at the bottom of the speedway making it work.
Newborn still trying to fight that outside line. There is some more banking out there than there is on the flatter side of the racetrack down low. So Newborn is still trying to fight that outside line, trying to pick up whatever momentum he can get. They're still going to be side by side, though, just as they have been every single lap of this heat race so far. And right now, that 49 car just cannot get clear of the 25, and it's really compromising his attempt to try to go for the lead as well with Clyde Dunn. So at this point, you got to wonder if maybe Chris Kratzer behind might be able to try to work his way out to get closer to go for a spot, as well as finally Tanner Branch has to yield.
So these races are 12 laps in length instead of the normal 8 that we've been seeing through heat races. And these guys put on a good show so far. Clyde Dunn still out front. Colby Newborn still holding that second position. Tanner Branch in third, as the battle for third may be starting to get tight, as fourth place is starting to reel both of these guys in. That's Chris Kratzer. He didn't have the heat race that he wanted, but we know that race machine has speed. And look out, big contact.
Chris Kratzer kicking the door open with 2 feet there, shoving his way through, and Tanner Branch has to drop back to 4. 3 wide for the transfer spot, though, with 2 laps to go. Tyler McGoldrick looking hungry as well. Still 3 wide off of the corner. White flag in the air. Kratzer trying to hold on around the outside and potentially Tannenberg trying to pay the favor. More contact for the transfer spot. Branch throwing it inside with a slider.
Oh, look out!
And that was disaster. Kratzer tried to fight back, but got cut off by Tyler McGoldrick. And Kratzer up and over in turn 2.
Oh, a big roll after the heat for Chris Kratzer. Clyde Dunn finishing in that first position. Mooborn in second. As, man, a heavy contact. All for the battle for the transfer position. As it's only going to be 3 cars advancing to the A main. And what a show that was as we move into B main number 2.
Another 11 cars getting set to go. Dalton McKinney in first place with, well, it's going to be, I'm not quite sure because my time screen is just conked out. Why don't you take over, Brandon?
That's going to be Dalton McKinney starting inside front row in the 46 machine. He's going to be your pole sitter for B-main number 2. Tate Butler starting his outside in second. Ben Liu is going to be starting in that third position. Cody Gagliano in fourth. Fifth's going to be Chad Wheeler. Todd Stanley going to be starting in that 6th position. Ryan Gaunt going to be starting in that 7th spot. Ryder Cantillo starting 8th. Sam Frankhauser going to be starting in 9th. And Davis Gibbons going to be rounding out the top 10 of the 0-1 Kobe Smith. Not making the call here tonight.
So it's going to be only 10 cars to get things rolling for the consolation race number 2. And, well, it's going to be another very, very intense race here as we get set to lock in another 3 cars to the feature race.
Absolutely we are as the pace truck pulls off. B-main number 2 underway. Dalton McKinney on the throttle. We see the green flag once again.
And already looking 3 wide for the transfer spot. Gagliano trying the outside line, but can't get the nose out just yet. Shuts the back of Tate Butler, and he's trying to find his way through as well. And now finally Butler getting clear of Chad Wheeler down on the low side. Here comes, though, Ryder Cantillo trying to find in the middle. More contact, that time with Ben Lewis. And is that your race leader? No, that was Sam Frankhauser. I thought that was your race leader for a hot minute pulling off there, but my goodness, what an intense race contact, though, up front for the heat lead as Tate Butler takes it over.
Oh man, that could put the 46 machine of McKinney in jeopardy here as he fell all the way back to the 3rd position, now trying to muscle his way through up on the high side of the speedway. Chad Wheeler down to the low side, riding that middle groove. Contacts down the back straightaway.
Indeed, contact down the back straight is still making contact at 3 and 4. Elsewhere in the field, Ben Lewis getting spun around, and a great save there from the number 14 machine. And still, Cody Gagliano trying to fight down and run down the leaders as Chad Wheeler trying to go for the consolation race lead here underneath Tate Butler. Not close enough, though, to make it work just yet.
Not quite close enough. The battle for the transfer position looking pretty subtle at this very moment. The battle for 4th might be starting to heat up as that 97 machine of Cantillo trying to make his way through the field, but he's got a long ways to go if he wants to make this thing work and transfer himself into the A-main event as the battle for the lead could be getting hot. Tate Butler under fire now from the 25. That's Chad Wheeler down low.
Wheeler trying to gun for the lead in B-main number 2, and now it's the lead's definitely going to be lost here unless Tate Butler can do something fast. That 25 machine has got all the speed on the inside and finally gets clear. Butler trying to fight back though around the inside and puts the 25 into the wall, taking the lead back, and now Dalton McKinney has gone through the 2nd place. Here comes Wheeler trying to fight back again. This is brilliant stuff.
Chad Wheeler in the low side of the speedway, now the 25 machine. Here comes the 46 up on the high side. It looks like it could potentially be a 3-wide battle as the 96 of Cantillo falls off down the bottom of the speedway, but still going to be side by side in a drag race down the back straightaway for the 2nd position. The battle is still on. These guys going at it. White flag in the air this time by the stripe. 46 up to the outside wall.
This might cause McKinney here. Here comes Cantillo the inside. All of a sudden, the battle of the transfer spot is on. More contact in the back, and all of a sudden, it's all come to fruition for Dalton McKinney. It's going to be Ryder Cantillo stealing the final transfer spot. Chad Wheeler in 2nd with Tate Butler taking the heat race victory. Dalton McKinney, that was an absolute disaster on the last lap of B-main number 2.
Unbelievable as tempers are starting to flare, Nolan. As if you couldn't sense it before, I think you sense it now. As A couple of these guys are not going to be happy, and I'm sure if these guys race with each other IRL, I'm sure they're going to be waiting for that phone call later in the week for an apology, possibly. But we move on to the final B-main of the night. B-main number 3, starting inside front row, 33, Cale Westover going to be your pole sitter for B-main number 3. Laurel Haven's going to be starting his outside the 47. Sean Power starting in that 3rd position. 4th is going to go to Kenton Allen. Trent Beaver starting in 5th. Kelby Taylor starting in that 6th spot. Brady Bell starting 7th. 8th position is going to go to Jake Nightingale. Chris West starting in 9th. Jason Murray starting in that 10th spot. Kevin Rutherford going to be at 11th. And rounding out the field in 12th is going to be Brandon Gibbons.
Well, what did I tell you? It's all going to start to boil over in the B-mains. I knew that was going to happen. It was only going to be a matter of time, and sure enough, we're seeing that time and time again in these consolation races. Now, just one more heat race, consolation race left to go before we go racing for 40 laps at Limaland Motorsports Park. But for now, it's time to lock out the final 3 drivers in the feature event. Cale Westover going to lead them off the green flag, and he is off and away. A jump from behind from Trent Beaver, though. Luckily going to get back in line, so no penalty. And now it's all going to be a hornet's nest down there for that transfer spot.
A gaggle of race cars back there, like you said, Nolan, as Havens trying to hang on to that 3rd and final transfer position as laps tick off really quickly at the Limaland Motorsports Park, as these guys are going to be under fire. Havens under fire for the 40 machine below him. That's Trent Beaver looking for that transfer position.
Trent Beaver trying to find his way up there into a final transfer spot to lock himself off into a feature event tonight. Beaver looking really strong around the middle groove, interestingly enough. Not elected the middle or the high, so maybe Beaver trying to go for the best of both worlds. Now he's going to go more to the top side, but it's too late. He's already lost the spot to Kelby Taylor up the inside, looking for almost 3 wide, though, for that heat race leader. Sean Powers is trying to get one around Cale Westover.
Looking for the lead up front. Cale Westover is under fire now, where he was from Sean Powers. And now, don't look now, here comes Kelby Taylor on the low side of the speedway for the transfer position up into the A-main. The 192 machine trying to fight his way down low. He gets around Laurel Havens down on the low side of the speedway. Contact with the 40 machine. Look out. Oh, that's catastrophic for both of those drivers. Tempers flaring. More contact as the 40 machine's got to watch his back. The 40 has to watch his back down there. The 192, not a happy camper. And he's got to try to be the bigger man and try to pass him clean down at the low side of the speedway. The battle for the transfer position is still on, however, or though it was, as I saw a side-by-side battle. Those 2 drivers are both locked in. It's going to be between Havens and Sean Powers down the low side of the speedway.
Well, all that contact, it's only ended in disaster for both Beaver and, well, I'm afraid, the 192 as well. Oh, he put him into the wall. What are you doing? Come on, man. Kelby Taylor putting him into the wall, and that is it. Kelby Taylor has just been kicked out of the race.
USMTS officials giving him the boot, and caution flag will be thrown. They're going to re-rack these guys. Kenton Allen upside down out of turn number 2. So that was contact from the 3 machine, as that was enough. Everybody stacked in to send him up and over down into turn 2. And Kelby Taylor, USMTS officials and race director Brett Laidhoff not happy with what just went on there.
I'm not surprised, and in all honesty, if you ask me, they might want to look at that incident that pushed Kenton Allen over as well, because both he and Jake Nightingale, remember, they tangled in their heat race as well, and if you'll remember, they have been duking down. They've actually been beating a bang about just as hard as the other 2 guys as well, and Nightingale's the one that pushed him up and over, didn't even bother lifting. So, like we said, the temper's starting to boil over. Green, white, checkered for the consolation race. We're already 1 lap to green.
And that we are. The pace truck going to find its way into the safety of the infield, as I'm sure he does not want to be out here with these guys tonight. Tempers flaring. Green flag back in the air. Cale Westover trying to get the final B-main win. wide, 3 wide. Back there for the transfer position. That third position's the key to get themselves locked into the A-main. And this time at a turn 4, white flag will fly one more time around.
4 wide now for third places. Look at this. It's a hornet's nest. There's still 4 wide for the transfer spot. Beaver gets muscled out as Brandon Gibbons shoves his way through, elbows out. Here comes Beaver, fighting back though and shoving him up the racetrack into the outside. Well, Beaver has been kicked out of the race as well, though. That's gonna help.
Big wreck.
To Jason Murray.
Big wreck. Big wreck coming to the checker. Tempers of flaring, and USMTS officials telling these guys to cut it out. As we see another driver get disqualified from the race. As man, oh man, the quarter mile, the bull ring, not making some of these guys look good. And I give a huge props to USMTS for taking charge and trying to get these guys under control, as I'm sure the heavy tempers are not over with yet. We still got a whole A-main event to go through, and race fans, it's going to be coming up next. We're going to step away real quick. We're going to give our voices a quick rest, and we'll be right back with you for A-main racing action. Stay tuned, LSRTV live on Racing Dirt. Welcome back, race fans. LSRTV live on RacingDirt.com as watching USMTS Modifieds. United States Modified Touring Series is the fastest and most popular open-wheel turn modified touring series in the world, attracting some of the most talented and professional drivers in North America. The fan-friendly format and exciting show creates for an enthusiastic and loyal fan base, and the USMTS routinely competes in front of capacity crowds. For more information, visit USMTS.com. As well as Mel Hambleton Ford, the presenting sponsor here for the weekly racing shows that we see here on the iRacing service, known as one of the best Ford car dealers in the Wichita, Kansas area. They have a great selection of new and used vehicles, and used being not just Ford vehicles, with exceptional car care and customer service with a smile. For more information, visit mhford.com. As well as Kaiser Manufacturing. Their commitment to engineering and developing new products is reflected in the wide range of fabricated items they produce. From simple to complex fabrications, they can do that. For more information, visit KaiserManufacturing.com. As well as FK Bearings Incorporated, a world-class leading U.S. manufacturer in rod-end spherical bearings, custom engineered bearings, and related products. Established in 1983, FK Bearings brings over 35 years of experience to the industrial, performance, and off-road racing markets. For more information, visit fkrodends.com. We want to give a huge shout out to all of the partners who come on board. For USMTS partners, Mel Hambleton Ford, BCC Signs and Graphics, Mel Hambleton Ford Racing, Kaiser Manufacturing, Integra Racing Shocks, and FK Rod Ends, and our channel sponsors, Sawblade.com, Clan Wars Servers, Fame Design and Media, and East Coast Motorsports Media. And we'd like to thank all of the race fans for tuning in, and also a big shout out to iRacing, as I know they've got some really good codes going around for, I think there's a 40% off one going around right now for new members. iRacing.com is the most trusted source for sim racers all over the world, and the leading sim racing organization in the world at this moment. Says a bunch of real-life sanctions such as NASCAR, Dirt Car, of course, USMTS, IMSA, IndyCar, and more all trust iRacing, and so should you. iRacing.com, Motorsport Simulations is Nolan. It's time for the B-main starting lineup.
Absolutely, it is. And starting off pole position is Jason Webb. Second with Brendan Lacey. Third, Clint McFadden. Fourth with Johnny Broking. Dustin Hall in fifth. Kyle Harrison sixth. Jeffrey Woods seventh. Adam Humperdinck eighth. Kevin McNabb ninth. Blake Brown 10th. James Newborn 11th. Austin House 12th. Richie Gustin 13th. Sam Mars 14th. Nate Chowder 15th. Clyde Dunn 16th. Tate Butler 17th. Cale Westover 18th. Colby Newborn 19th. Chad Wheeler 20th. Laura Havens at 21st. Tanner Branch 22nd. Ryder Cantil at 23rd. 24 car field rounded off by Jason Murray. My goodness, Brandon, we saw probably one of the most dramatic consolation races we've seen yet in this series, and well, you said it perfectly, and I'll agree with you. I don't think it's quite over yet.
No, I don't think it's over yet, Nolan, but you know what? I think this is probably the most interesting set of heat races, or racing in general, that we've seen from these guys. You know, I mean, it's sim racing, but the passion to win is still there, and the passion to get into the main events is still there, especially on a large scale, a larger scale such as the USMTS officially sanctioned race. So these guys get the 1 green signal at the flag stand that time by. I don't think the tempers are done flaring, as I do believe we're going to see some more I guess anger action, you could call it, here tonight. But nevertheless, the pace truck is in. Buckle your seatbelts, hang on to your hats. The Mighty Modifieds are ready to rumble. It's showtime.
Webb off to a great start, but Brandon Lacey trying to fight the outside line. Already one car on the outside wall, but still keeping it straight. We stay green, looking almost 4 wide for the lead. One car getting pinched sideways, one spun around in the middle of the field. In the back, that is Jeffrey Wood. That was around for 10th place. No yellow, we keep it green because it was not a hazard on the racing surface. And now here comes Jason Webb, still trying to duke it out for the lead with Brendan Lacey.
Well, Jason Webb is the one that's under fire from Lacey back there, and Lacey now the crossover. Webb switched positions. Now he's running the high side. The 14's going to be storming down on the loose side of the speedway. A drag race and a turn number 1 once again. These guys are duking it out side by side for the race lead.
Side by side for the racing, and it's going to be far from over. Lacey still trying to throw it up the inside. Caution flag is out as we got a couple of cars that looks like they slid around in the back. It was a big mess, actually, off of turn number 2 on the back straightaway. It started with Clint McFadden, pushed up a bit too wide, got into the wall with the number 6 of Adam Humperdinck, and he got pinched around by Kyle Harrison. McFadden then spun around off the door of Kevin McNabb right in front of the field and got collected at least 5 or 6 cars with damage in that.
Already some unbelievable racing up at the front of this field, and do believe it is a 40-lap feature here tonight. Caution laps not counting, so we will keep everybody updated on how many laps we have to go here once we take the green flag. This time around, the field should get stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go. Green flag racing once again. Lights on top of the iRacing official pace truck are out, and Jason Webb going to be leading these guys back to the green flag.
So he only made it a few laps, about 5 laps on the last run. Now we'll get to see how long it'll be until we get our next yellow. No doubt will be not far behind. Jason Webb on the loud pedal. We're off and away. A much better start this time from Jason Webb. Now it's going to be 4 wide for second place into turn 2.
Still going to be a drag race. The 4-wide situation settles it out, but it's going to be a drag race this time down the front straightaway. Brendan Lacey now under fire at the bottom side of the speedway. Caution flag flies once again.
Clint McFadden again. This time you got involved with Ryder Canzilla, who spun him around in the middle of 3 and 4. They collected Laurel Havens, I see, was involved that one. Tana Branch involved as well. It looks like Jeffrey Wood had to bring the car almost to a stop to avoid getting involved and never managed to get out of that one clean. My goodness, it's been an intense one for sure thus far, and like we said, far from over.
Those guys were just door to door, and it was hard racing down into turn 2 that last time around. They got the Uke tire, and it'll send Clint McFadden around, and Havens with nowhere to go there in that instance. But Jason Webb still holding strong here at the top of the charts, or the top of the leaderboard at this moment. It's going to be 35 laps to go when these guys come around to take the green flag. It should be next time out of turn 4.
And so the action continues to, form up as well. Once again, the pace truck going to take the lights off, and Jason Webb looking to once again run away with this lead as, well, the battles are continuing to just ramp on up. And once again, they're actually already hitting each other before they even get to the green. They're stacking up all sorts of crazy way in the back there. And already, though, we are green flag racing this. Heads up, there comes Kevin McNabb, and he's got, oh my goodness me, what in the world was that? James Newborn bouncing over the juke tires, and he's got past Kevin McNabb that way. I guess it takes the rallycross courses, why not?
Absolutely. These cars have a soft suspension. Might as well use it as he makes that pass. And just a heads up to the race fans, it says 100 laps. Just that way these guys can manually count or manually not count caution laps, as iRacing is known to have a couple of bugs. These guys want to make sure that nothing happens in the race. Of course, iRacing doing a good job at fixing everything, just with their busy scheduled and busy during the weekdays, just have not gotten around to that yet. So these guys want to make sure everything is good with the scoring, so they're doing it manually. As this is some crazy racing back here within the mid portion of this field, even up towards the front. The battle for second place is still on.
Indeed, and Dustin Hall, you can see, trying to fight around Johnny Broken for second place. Broken still pulling that inside line really nicely, trying to make it work. And way in the back here, our cars fanning out all across the racetrack still. I can see Kevin McNabb, who's still trying to find his way now back around James Newborn. McNabb still trying to pull his way around as well, around the outside line. Running the middle groove right now throughout the corners, and look at this, almost 4 wide off the corners, certainly 3 wide for sure. Look at this now, they're going to be 4 wide for third place down the back straight away. Contact is made as Dustin Hall almost gets pushed into the outside wall.
It's still going to be 3 wide battling down the front straightaway all the way into quarter number 1, almost 4 wide there that time around. These guys are holding the 3 wide consistently. Now that phases out. It's going to be a drag race this time down the front straightaway.
Still 3 wide down to turn number 1. Dustin Hall up the inside, and this is still all sorts of crazy in the midst of things. And if we don't get any more yellows, then lap 28 on that ticker will mark the halfway point in this race, I believe. Dustin Hall still pulling the outside line. Now he's clipped in, and now he's into the wall. He's going to lose a few spots here. 3 wide now. Kevin McNabb 4 wide through turn 3 and 4, almost 5 on the exit as well. McNabb still trying to pull that out, that middle groove.
Unbelievable racing so far. The latter half of the top 10 still going to be 3 wide. Unbelievable. They managed to hold this clean and green so far. 4 wide down the front straightaway.
what in the world is this, and how in the world is it working right now is what both of us are likely wondering. McNabb still pulling the middle group, and it's still working for him as well. This is absolutely thrilling stuff already. This race has just continued to tick on by. We're approaching the halfway point now, and now Richie Gustin, he's still fighting that inside line, but now almost the entire track has been slicked off. There is no great racing groove anymore. I think that's why we're still seeing the racing like this.
Yeah, it's definitely a multi-groove racing surface, and a good call by USMTS officials to rework the track before heats so we can provide this awesome racing that we've seen all night, and especially now in the A-main. This track working with multiple grooves, 3, 4, 5 wide, racing able to commence as this track is known to be wide enough, and all of these guys are proving that here so far tonight, Nolan, is we're going to have halfway down, halfway to race.
Halfway through this race, and still the drivers are fighting up and down throughout the field. And there's you'd be hard pressed to find a group of cars that are not side by side and at least 2 wide, if not 3 and 4 wide racing. We'd like to turn attention a little further back to Sam Mars, just outside the top 10 now. He's trying to pull the outside and take Butler, and Butler working the inside line, just picking up 11th place down there. And they are right now trying to reel their way in to the top 10 to see if they can pick up spots from Clyde Dunn and Brendan Lacey. Lacey still trying to fight this one. They showed her with Adam Humperdinck still running that top side as well.
All of these guys continuing to battle it out hard, as that battle for third up towards the front of this thing might be starting to get hot. James Mooborn up on the outside line, high, wide, and handsome, riding all the way against that outside concrete on the cushion that these guys have built up, and he may have found a grip strip up there. He's got the momentum for third.
James Mooborn really riding that cushion and flirting with that outside wall just that little bit. He's got to be very careful because the slightest misjudgment could spell disaster for his race. Richie Gustin still pulling the inside line. He's just got him on the entry. He's bouncing over those juke tires in the 196 is Gustin because, well, like you said, soft suspensions, may as well use them. It's still gripping below those juke tires, and I don't think there's any rule saying you're not allowed to go below them either.
Hey, if it doesn't damage the race car too bad, a racer's mind, any surface can be a racing surface as long as it doesn't hurt the race car enough that you can't race. So he's pulling that just now. He's riding that left front tire right over those Uke tires, trying to get any little bit of grip that he possibly can, and he's proving that he's making that bottom side of the speedway work now.
Certainly is. Richie Gustin starting to really pull away here from James Mooborn, and he's actually almost closing the gap into Johnny Broking up top. The top two have really run away with this one. Jason Webb just down the back straight now, and now, of course, in lap traffic, a 1.8 second lead from Webb back to Broking. About another second and a half from Broking to Gustin behind. So your top two have absolutely blitzed the field. You run away with it on the last restart.
Absolutely. 10 to go at the line, this time by Jason Webb. As he gets his way through lap traffic. He is clean sailing, smooth riding out front on a Sunday night drive in that 15 machine.
Indeed, he's having a very easy time out there in that number 15, and no doubt he is loving every second of it right now. The one thing he doesn't want right now is a caution. Meanwhile, a lot of other drivers, that might be exactly what they're looking for if they can get it without themselves being caught up in it. I can see one battle picking up. James Mooborn under threat for 4th place from Dustin Hall. Dustin Hall still trying to fight with Mooborn, who's sliding right up to the wall. Now Hall trying to fight back. They're side by side in the turn 3.
And that they are, as Hall trying to make that position work, as he's going to pull that slider line and not going to be able to make it work quite as he wanted to. The 36 gives it right back to him. The crossover again. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway as the slider once again. These guys slide city as both of these guys battle it out. Oh, contact!
Oh boy, that's all sorts of close, and that almost sent us around. Caution flag is out. That's the one thing Webb did not want to see right now. Kyle Harrison, the driver, caught up in this one, but it wasn't him that brought it out. It was actually Laurel Havens caught in the middle of a 3-wide battle. Kale Westover came down, got in him. That shot the 22 and the 17 both around. Jason Webb's lead, just like that, gone in the puff of smoke.
Yeah, a tough break, and Jason Webb is going to have his work cut out for him on this next restart for sure, as these guys, when they take the green, it's going to be just 4 laps to go.
4 laps left to go for the green flag. My goodness, this. Oh boy, if there was ever a time when the gloves are going to come off, let's just put it this way. I feel like a war is about to break out on the surface of Limaland Motorsports Park down there on the racetrack. This is about to get all sorts of intense. You can practically feel the energy right now from these drivers as they're already getting doubled up and ready to go with just 4 laps left to run.
Grandma, pull your teeth out. Things are about to get wild. Everybody buckle your seatbelts. Jason Webb's pulling those belts tight one more time. As green flag is back in the air, we're underway. 4 laps to go at Limaland.
4 laps left to run. Jason Webb off to a great start, but already here comes 3rd place. Richie Gustin looking up the inside. Here comes Broking trying to pull a slider line. 5 wide behind them though for 4th place through turn number 4, and it's contact for the lead. There's still 4 wide down in the back as well. This is all sorts of intense. It's a fight between Broking and Webb for the race lead. They make
contact!
And that's
big contact!
Webbing his way through.
Jason Webb all the way up to the outside concrete. Johnny Broking maybe gonna walk away with it as he comes through. Unbelievable, catastrophic for the 15 of Jason Webb.
Catastrophic indeed, and Johnny Broken continuing to run away with the lead here. Nothing that Webb can do about it. He's jammed in 3rd place. They're coming to the white flag this time by just 1 lap to go at Limaland. There is nothing the field can do. This race is gonna be over.
Johnny Broking out front. He had to muscle his way up to the race lead to get it away from Jason Webb. This time at a turn 4, your A-main winner, Johnny Broking.
And 2nd place becoming McNatt, Richie Gustin in 3rd, and big crash after the checkered flag. Tay Butler sent flying into the catch fencing after one car, Adam Hummerding, full throttled it right for him.
One of those times I'm glad this is virtual, because that was a nasty wreck after the checker, but of course they'll get checked out by AMR medical officials, and I'm sure they'll be released from the racing rigs. So what a battle we saw, and unbelievably all of these guys having to muscle their way up through the fields, and Johnny Broking is going to be coming home with your race win. And race fans, we're going to step away to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back for the post-race show. Stay tuned to LSRTV live on racingdirt.com. Welcome back, race fans, to LSRTV live on RacingDirt.com, and we're here with the post-race show presented by our channel sponsor, Clan Wars Servers, the official communication partner of LSRTV. And I do believe Nolan has caught up in victory lane, but first I'm going to catch up down here. Let me run over down the pits. I've caught up with Kevin McNatt over here, and Kevin, you come home with a second place finish here of the night. How are you feeling after your run?
I was just chilling sixth. Last couple laps, it was kind of crazy. I don't know what happened to the leaders, but I know I heard officials saying they need a crew security to the Jason.
Yeah, it was tough battling up there for the race lead, and tell us what you saw out front from your rock screen there, and tell us how you managed to get by the Mayhem and up into that second position.
Honestly, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what was happening, and I was kind of just doing my own deal, rolling the middle, and trying to roll middle, bottom with Richie, and seeing Jason was behind us, and I was in the second. I was like, well, I don't know how this happened, but I'm gonna keep rolling.
Tell us a little bit, Kevin, how the track was tonight, and how it was to drive in this racing surface, and how would you describe it? It looked pretty slick.
Yeah, it was slick top to bottom. Nothing up on the, no moisture on the track anymore, but I liked it. I know a lot of drivers don't like the slick, but to me it was pretty racy. I know Jason run the top a lot, Rich is running the bottom, I was running through the middle. It's my 3-wide racing.
It definitely seemed like a racy track. And Kevin, is there anybody that you'd like to thank or give a shout out to for your performance here tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank Ronnie Sanders Racing for loaning me the backup car. Jason Webb Racing.
Well, awesome job tonight, Kevin, and hopefully we will be speaking with you in the podium position next week as well, and thank you for talking with us.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to hand it off to my announcing partner, Nolan Rempel, as he's down in victory lane with your race winner.
I am indeed standing by with your race winner, Johnny Brokian. And well, my goodness, Johnny, what an intense final few laps. What about that final restart? That's where you managed to take the lead. So I think it's safe to say that caution is one of the reasons why you're able to get the win tonight. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, first of all, I just got to apologize to Jason. I mean, I got in there a little hard and it got tight on me and I pushed up the racetrack, and so I apologize to them for that, but we were both racing for a win and, well, I got her, so. But yeah, that caution definitely helped me out. I was actually watching a replay and I definitely messed up, but yeah, that was pretty fun. Thank you guys for putting us on, USMTS, that's pretty neat. Hopefully we can actually get my real car in victory lane.
Well, of course, Rubbins Racing, and that's definitely what that was. It was certainly hard racing right through to the end. Limaland is known for being one of those tracks where it's unusually difficult, and you can see a lot more contact than you'd normally see in the dirt race because it's so short, and it can tighten up in a hurry if you've been in a big field of cars. What do you reckon some of the main challenges were for, well, just about the entire field going into today?
I honestly don't think any of us really predicted it to get this slick. I thought they would farm the track a little bit, and they didn't, and it was pretty tricky just with the throttle control. I mean, I don't think there was a time in that whole race I ever put the car to the floor, so I mean, just for that in general, I mean, you got to be so smooth and you can't just be jerky, and it's just like driving a real car. You just got to be patient and see what happens.
Of course, coming away with your first race win of the season today, do you think you'll be able to carry this momentum over into the next week race as well?
I sure hope so. So we'll see what happens here, and we're doing a lot better than we were when we first came out. We didn't even make the show, so definitely happy with the performance we had tonight.
I think you can definitely be happy with the performance as well. So once again, congratulations on getting that race win today after starting 4th place on the grid, taking the victory course in heat race number 4. Before we let you go, anybody that you'd like to shout out as well for us?
Just want to thank my real life sponsors, and of course I got them on my car and iRacing, so Brokings Transport, Lethal Chassis, David Stremme, ask him questions about the game. I'm sure he'd help me out, and but he's great to work with. And Meyer Welding, and I got Chuck Performance on my car in iRacing here, so shout out to him. He builds my engines, and just everybody else that helps me out. I got a few buddies. Nate Choder, he runs the series with us, and he helps me out quite a bit. And just all everyone else to have fun racing with. It's a great time. And of course, you guys do with the USMTS stuff. You in the booth, it's definitely not an easy job to do what you guys do, so we appreciate you too.
It was definitely a pleasure to be here tonight. The races are, of course, as exciting as always, and well, your performance tonight definitely was one of the highlights that made this race worth watching, shall we say. Thank you for joining us today, Johnny. Congratulations on the race win.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
And Nolan, what a dramatic finish we saw to tonight. The final restart with 4 laps to go. Johnny Broking having to muscle his way up to the race lead, as you do have to do here on the bull rings. And I guess the old saying goes, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing.
Oh, absolutely. And well, Limaland is definitely not the exception to that rule, shall we say. There was certainly a lot of rubbing. Some would argue, well, let's say not more rubbing. It was more like slapping. I think that's a much better word for it, for some of the hits that we saw tonight. But my goodness, what a race.
Absolutely. And Nolan, your final thoughts on tonight?
Well, just that, once again, another exciting show. The USMTS never disappoints whenever we come out here week after week. From Lernerville to Eldora, the dirt track at Charlotte, and now Limaland. Just goes to show, no matter what dirt track it is, they'll put on a good show every single time. We're now 4 for 4 for exciting racing. I can't wait for the 5th one.
I agree with that 100%. And well, race fans, that looks like it's about going to wrap up our coverage here live at LSRTV and Racing Dirts. And we'd like to give a shout out to everybody that has helped us out along the way with USMTS. And of course, the United States Modified Touring Series, RacingDirt.com. And of course, the presenting sponsors for tonight, Mel Hambleton Ford, BCC Signs and Graphics, Mel Hambleton Ford Racing, Kaiser Manufacturing, Integra Racing Shocks, and FK Rod Ends. And of course, our channel partners, Sawblade.com, Clan War Servers, Fate Design and Media, and East Coast Motorsports Media. And again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. From Charles Wooten behind the cameras as executive producer, my announcing partner tonight, Nolan Rempel, and myself, Brandon Kreutz, we'd like to say good racing and good night, and we will see you next time.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSRTV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSRTV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.